Shaun, welcome to the Sports Editor. It's really good to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking time to chat to us. Shaun, first question. Before we talk about your time here in South Africa, there was a chance that you could have played cricket in New Zealand, but you turned that down. I'm just interested to know, why? Because I think you maybe thought there could be more in store for you here in South Africa.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Obviously a couple of years ago, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, my ex-coach at the Titans, Rob Walter, he phoned me, said he's obviously coach there now in Dunedin, and he asked me like, would you be interested to come and play for me? So I was like, I contemplated it like very hard. I spoke to my wife, we were on the verge to go, and then I said to Rob, listen, I don't want to burn bridges or burn bridges with people on this side. So if we're going to do it, they'd speak to Mark Bouch, was the coach of the Titans at the time, right. And I told him, listen, you phone Bouch, you speak to him, what your plans are, and then I'll speak to him on this side, whatever. And then when he made the phone call, Bouch made it clear that I'm not going. So,
easy enough.
So that was basically the end of it. So that was quite funny. And looking back at the decision, I think it was Bouch's first or second year at the Titans at the time, and I really learned so much from him as a coach. All his experience playing 13, 14 years international cricket, especially for spin bowler, fielding positions and all those type of things. It's like, obviously it's very key for a spin bowler. So looking back at it, I still think it was a good decision to stay. And then obviously he became the national coach, which was unexpected. But I don't regret not going. Happy to still play here in South Africa. Yeah.
That's excellent, Shaun. We're going to chat about your bowling a bit later, but first I want to talk about your batting. You've scored 21 half centuries, first class cricket. And it seems like you don't have an ounce of fear in you. You just go in there and make runs. Because I find it quite fascinating because, you do bat in the lower order, but you just go and make runs. I don't know how you do it. Well, how do you do it?
I don't know. It's an interesting one. I was actually at school level. I was a proper all-rounder at school level. I batted number 4 for my school team. In the provincial weeks, I also batted number 4.
Okay.
So I was a proper batter at school level. When I started playing professional cricket, they obviously signed me more as a bowler, as a leg spin bowler instead of batting. So I got shifted down the order at like 7, 8, 9, 10 sometimes, and really frustrated me. So I've got the skill to bat properly, but I think over the years I've neglected my batting a little bit because I was mainly focused on my skill that I was signed for. So this winter passed now, and this lockdown period, I worked on my batting very hard for 3 months. So let's see how it goes this season.
I'm sure it's going to go well for you, really, really well. We'll start talking about bowling now. In 2019-2020 season, I think you took about 18 wickets in 8 games. But I'm sure this season coming up now, you're going to want to add a bit more to that, and I'm sure you want to take a bit more than that. Is that something you're aiming for?
Yeah, definitely. It was an interesting quite a difficult season for me last year because I just moved from the Titans to the Knights.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was my first season at the Knights, moved away from home. Like, it all plays a bit of a role mentally, and I'm still finding my feet around the team. So, yeah, so last season was quite interesting. We've got a whole new management team,
Okay.
new coach, new physio. Like, yeah, but obviously, definitely this year I want to try and take as much wickets as I can. We're obviously playing less games, so yeah, it'll be lucky if I can take 50 wickets.
50 wickets, there we go. That's brilliant. But Shaun, collectively, you've done very well. You've taken, I think it was about 530 wickets, in 4-day of the white ball. And I believe it's 399 in the 4-day competition. So just one more, and you're at the 400 mark. It's brilliant. Shaun, it's excellent. And I think just over 4,600 runs. So, when you hear the numbers and you look back, do you sort of feel satisfied and say, you know what, actually, my I've lived up to expectations. I'm happy with what I've achieved so far.
Yeah, everybody has been speaking about how many wickets. Every time there's a bowling chat or a team meeting, whatever, guys are talking about experience and whatever. And I'm like, the only experience you can have is like on the field the whole time, because we've got quite a young bowling lineup. And there's quite a lot of injuries now and again with the youngsters, and I'm like an old man, bit of overweight, and I'm still running out doing my thing. So yeah, I keep on abusing the younger guys, but yeah, looking back over my career, I'm satisfied with the numbers. The only thing I would have added was like maybe one or two more test matches or a test match playing international cricket. But I mean, that's out of my control, and it is what it is. But yeah, I'm aiming for 500 wickets. That's my goal. So
that's excellent.
Everybody's asking me how many years do you have left? I'm saying there's no years. I'm aiming for wickets.
Yeah, excellent. That's excellent, Shaun. And since you mentioned it, it must have been, in 2018, it must have been a bit of a tough for you as well. I'd say probably a bittersweet, because you've done very, very well domestically. I think you were the top wicket taker, as a spinner, and you're playing SAA cricket, and you get called up into the squad, for the Proteas, but you don't play for them. But in the same breath, you've gone on to represent your country to some degree. It must have been challenging, but in the same breath, rewarding. I don't know, Shaun, how did you deal with it? How did you sort of feel good and say like, well, yeah, it must have been tough at times.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. Not getting a game, and yeah, it was an interesting 6 months after that. My wife actually, she flew over to come and watch me play, and then I never got picked.
Shame.
Yeah, it was a tough time. And then I flew from Sri Lanka straight to India for SAA tour. So that was like 2.5 months up in the north.
Sure.
It was quite difficult. But at the end of the day, when I came back, I was saying to myself, I'm still playing cricket. It's still my job. I'm still loving it. So it's out of my control. Whatever happens. So like, keep going.
Absolutely. Got to keep going. Yeah. Very important lesson there. Very important words. Very, very true. But then, we quickly turn our attention to 2020 cricket. And what would Durban Heat do without you?
I'm not sure. Durban Heat. Yeah, Durban Heat. Yeah, that was an interesting season last year.
Yeah.
So many games rained out.
Yeah.
I think 4 or 5 games rained out last year. So it was difficult to place the team where we were supposed to be in a playing. How are we going to play? as a team, and then where do you find yourself featuring in the team, what your role is, because we only played like 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
And I think I played like 1 or 2 games. When it was turning, they played me. When it was not turning, they were playing somebody else. But yeah, Durban is a lekker place. I enjoy playing there. Got a couple of friends there in Durban, so every time I'm there, I go for a braai or whatever. So
Yeah.
I enjoy Durban. I enjoy Durban a lot. The CEO from Durban as well, Heinrich, great guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lekker 6 weeks there. Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't go for a braai, Shaun, then I'd be really concerned. Then I'd say you got to get your priorities right. There's something wrong there.
There's braaiing at my place like 4 times a week at least.
There we go. That's it. Good stuff. But specifically in that Mzansi Super League, are you hoping to maybe get 1, 2, maybe even 3 more seasons out of it?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm aiming for first class wickets. So as long as I'm playing first class cricket, I'll be playing white ball cricket as well. I'm not labeling myself as only a 4-day cricketer. So as long as I can go, I say 3 years from now, and then we'll reassess from there.
No, it's good because I think that's a brilliant thing to do, Shaun, because a lot of guys, typically 34, 35, they retire, that's it. But I think more and more guys are saying, no, I can push that for maybe 2, 3, even 38. I mean, look at Imran Tahir. He's going to the Big Bash League now, I think, as well. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that it's so good that you guys who've got the experience are just hanging around for a few more years just to groom these youngsters as well. And just to get the most out of your career. I think it's absolutely brilliant what you're doing. And because a lot of guys as well, that's what I was going to ask, is that they sort of focus and say, no, we're either going to go red ball cricket or just white ball cricket and try and further their career even more. So I'm really impressed. It must be all the brass that you have that give you the energy to keep going and play so much cricket.
Yeah, definitely. I had a chat with Gerald Kutsia, I think last week. Also, one of the younger guys again. Asking me how long am I still going, and I'm like, well, I'll still play cricket like when I feel I can still win a game single-handedly for a team, or I can still compete and take wickets, and I'm not letting the team down, I'll still play.
Yeah.
If I feel I'm go for, or I'm not doing the team any justice, then I'll probably call it at the end of the day. And then his words are like, if you're going to retire now, you're not going to do anyone justice at the moment. So keep going.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah, happy to go.
No, it's good. It's very, very good. And Shaun, you touched on it earlier, when you moved from the Titans to the Knights. And yes, it was adjustment because you spent a lot of basically your whole career at the Titans. But I think it's also been nice for you to be at the Knights. Has it sort of added perhaps a different dynamic to your cricket career now? Maybe you're taking a bit more of a mentorship role then now. Has it added something more to your career, so to say?
Yeah, definitely. At the Titans, I played there for 10 years.
Sure.
It was unbelievable. We were very successful, won a lot of trophies. They only used me when the wicket was turning, or when, let's say, Shamsi, for instance, had played for the Proteas, then I come in. And then Belch said to me straight, listen, you're coming in, you have to win the game. We're relying on you to take 3, 4 wickets now, 5 wickets. You must come in and win the game. Now, I sort of know I'm going to play every game. I've got my mental approach is more relaxed. But then obviously, in training at the nets, it's you have to set an example. Set an example for the younger guys, how you train, how you think about the game. Your cricket knowledge becomes a bigger part of what I had at the Titans, because that side there were so many senior players. Like I can just play and do my own thing. but now you have to think about the whole team and not yourself. So yeah, it's a completely different role, but it has given me a new spark for cricket.
No, that's excellent. That's good. That's good, Shaun. Got quite a few questions to ask you, so we'll get through them. So just bear with me. But you modeled your action after Shaun, or Shaun was quite an influence on you when you were younger, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was at high school. I used to bowl seam up,
Oh wow!
but I saw I wasn't quick enough. I bowled like in swingers. I wasn't quick enough, and my slow ball was like a leg cutter or leg spinner. So I decided, well, I'm gonna bowl six balls with leg spin instead of 6 seamers. And then yeah, it went well after that. And then I obviously started studying leg spinners around the world, and then obviously Shaun von stood out. And I watched videos of him bowling, and yeah, that's sort of like where I got my love for leg spin bowling. So that is where it all started. Yeah, so
that's very good, very, very good. But Shaun, I really feel that you sort of always contribute in your team. So if you haven't taken wickets, you're making runs, or you're throwing chips down the field to help your team win. You like getting involved in every dynamic of cricket, isn't it?
Yeah, I like to be involved. I'm not really on the boundary. I like to be in the middle where things are hot and steamy in the middle. When the fast bowlers are bowling bounces, I like to be there in the back having a word. So it's I like to be in the mix of things when it's tough. I like to be in the middle. I don't like sitting on the side then.
No, that's very, very good. But you scored 100, and you took 5 wickets in one match. And I think you're the only guy to ever actually do that in the franchise here in South Africa. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. I had to I think it was about two weeks ago. My agent phones me and he said he's sitting with Jacques and Vincent Sinovich. They had a cricket quiz, and the question was, there's 2 guys. It's like 10 wickets in a game and 100.
Sure.
And there's 2 guys, and so yeah, my name came up, and then they phoned me to ask who's the other guy, and I'm like, I don't know. But like, yeah, apparently it's Nicky Boy. Yeah, I never knew it.
Wow.
I never knew there was another guy. So yeah, so that's a new thing I learned last week. Yeah, it was quite a lucky game.
Yeah, definitely. But then to add to your runs again, you've also got the record of, I think it's the fastest century in the 4-day franchise.
Yeah.
Look at you. Hey, Shaun, you're a run machine, man. Look at this.
Yeah, it's funny. There's a long story behind that 100, but yeah, I can't talk about it.
No, it's fine. But I just ask you, who was that against, and what season, what year was that?
Yeah, it was against the Cobras.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was about five years ago. They had a very good bowling lineup. The game was sort of like I think a one day rained out, and then me and Rolf, we batted together. We had a couple of words in the middle together, laughing, and then yeah. Next thing, we were hitting them all over the park, so it was quite a fun day.
Gee whiz. No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Oh, sure. But, just looking at the Knights and, chatting to your coach, Alan Donald, I think they've got the balance very, very well. They've got young guys coming. They've got guys like you. They've got some guys that are well seasoned, like a guy like Jacques Snyman doing very, very well. There just seems to be quite a good vibe in the Knights. Is that true, or am I just seeing things and thinking things? Or do you feel guys look quite solid for the upcoming season?
No, definitely. We've definitely got one of the better squads. experience-wise, we've got a couple of older guys that's played quite a lot of games. We've obviously got Dean signed in late signing. Myself, Pite, Gran Mokwena. Like, we've all played like more than 100 games, and then we've got very exciting youngsters. Reinhard Fortuna, Gerald Kutsia, Jacques. Yeah, and then we've got very exciting. We've got a great mix of cricketers, and the talent is endless. So I'm so excited, and obviously our management staff we've got with Donald there. I mean, his experience also, like, you can't replace experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I was actually having a look at your results sort of from February, March, this year as the end of the season. And all you just saw was now to win, the Knights have won, and the odd loss. So it'll be nice if you guys can keep that trend going, because I really think the guys are aiming to make the Knights like a proper like dominant side. I mean, you would have experienced with the Titans. I think they're looking for that some sort of thing where you guys are just winning trophies all the time. So it's good. It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good. Well, Shaun, I think it's also fair to say that you've got a very good rapport and a good ambassador for the club. I think the guys really enjoy having you around. I don't know what your secret is. I don't know how you do it. No, but it's good, Shaun. It's really good, I think, for cricket in South Africa that a lot of guys add value to the game. How important is it? Because I know cricket can be, although it's considered a gentleman's game, it can be a bit rough around the edges. But
yeah,
would you say it's brought the best out of you as well?
Yeah, definitely. Like the last couple of years, we've been talking about, like, I'm coming more from the old age regime that, like, we call it typically like army. Your background's a bit of like an army style, like old school, hard working. If you're not doing well, you get, there's hard words. And then there's like the new younger crowd. Like, if you talk too hard, if your words are too hard at them, they like, you sort of lose them a couple of days. They sulk. So it's an interesting time for cricket because there's a bit of a we call it, what's the word? We call it something, man. The Generation X.
Oh yes.
All the younger guys. So there's a big age gap currently in cricket, I feel, between the older guys and the younger guys. There's quite a gap in the mental capacity. How we think of things, I think this way, and they think totally the different other way, but like, both ways works for us. So yeah, sometimes on the field, myself and Pite and a couple of guys will have a couple of hard words against the opponents, and then the younger guys won't say a word, and you'll think, what are they doing? Like, do they want to go shake their hands and say well done? But no, definitely, like, I quite like getting in the thick of things. It gets me motivated. It gets me my competitive juices flowing. To get that competitive edge to be a 10% better on the day. So, yeah.
Well, again, that just shows the mental aspect of cricket. That's a contest between bat and ball, but you can never forget how important it is to be mentally strong and go into. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the guys handle that pressure mentally.
Yeah. I think the season is going to be quite interesting because a lot of things happened this winter outside of cricket. So, yeah, I mean, our country is also in a bit of a mess. If you think of what's happening between, like, I'm not going to beat around the bush, between the whites and the blacks. There's a big BLM thing around the world. And I mean, if you just look at social media, the guys are attacking each other and whatever's happening. So
really bad.
I mean, that's obviously it's gonna filter into cricket on the field. So it's gonna be interesting to see how people handle it. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think it would be nice if people could just do those little, good things day in and day out, and just keep doing those little good things well. Do those good things well, then hopefully things will sort out. Yeah, because like I said, it is a mess. It's when you read some of the headlines and see what's happening, it is of a real concern. It shouldn't be happening. So it's worrying. But let's hope for the best.
Well,
yeah, but I know as your profession and that's your job, you try to do your job as well as you can, and you almost feel like it's under threat all the time. It's not nice. It's not a nice feeling. So I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But on the lighter side of things, I believe in your Facebook page, you've only liked one thing, and that's cricket. That's it.
No, not at all. No, I only post things on Facebook of cricket. I don't really post cricket stuff. No. It's more adventure type of thing. So.
Oh, okay. Do you do a bit of hunting yourself? Do you go out there and do a bit of hunting? Is it like a hobby for you?
Yeah, hunting, it's not a massive hobby, but I enjoy shooting. So we do target shooting, and I like to get out in the wilderness and in the outdoors, do 4x4 hunting, fishing, camping.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I like to. Yeah, that's my get away from cricket time. Yeah, so
really good. And then Shaun, yeah. Do you follow a bit of rugby as well?
I do a little bit, but not a lot. I don't really. It's gonna sound funny, but I don't really watch TV. So yeah, I'm too busy in the afternoons, doing other stuff. We've been shooting. It's quite funny. We're a couple of guys that started shooting pigeons there at the stadium, so we call ourselves Pest Control.
Shooting pigeons at the stadium.
Yeah, the stadium manager said there's too many pigeons, we must take them out. So we started shooting pigeons, and so now it's become such a big hobby.
Okay.
And we're starting to make just for the fun of it, notes and sending out adverts to people. We pest control hunters now.
Gee,
also, I'm so busy. I don't watch TV a lot, so yeah. So.
Interesting.
But I do support the Blue Bulls, yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I do believe you're a people person, so I think the Knights are very lucky to have you in the squad. I think the guys are going to continue enjoying having you around for as long as you play cricket. I think we're lucky to have you in South Africa, and that you didn't go and play cricket in New Zealand. Very, very lucky. So keep doing the good work that you're doing, Shaun. Yeah, I'm going to be watching how you guys go. And I think, you guys are going to be a side to watch. I think you've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, quietly, and been working hard. And I'm hoping you guys have a great season.
All right, thank you, Ron.
And watch out for those pigeons.
That's cool. All right.
Shaun, that's all from my side. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
All right.
All the best, my man.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Bye-bye.